Hey, what's up? I'm going to do a quick introduction here how to use the web version of it. It's slightly different from the Android app. So pretty much you select your native language and then you click your language of your choice to be learning. And you can do any combination of these, which I think is pretty cool. I don't believe anyone's doing this exactly. The master game type, essentially there's two types, which is read, listen, speak, and translate. So read, listen, speak, you get a sentence in the language you're trying to learn, and the goal would be to figure out if you can read it, can you listen to the audio, understand what the audio is saying, and can you speak into the microphone and pronounce that sentence or word correctly. Translating, you're going to get the sentence in your native language, and the goal is to translate it, so it's slightly different. Let's start using this one here. These options would be the basic data sets, which all the different information. I'm not going to go through each specific option. Essentially, probably this section here would be the one you would use the most, the one I use the most. And in this case, for example, you get the Aesop Fables, and then you click the options, and the option would be the different stories of Aesop that you can go ahead and choose from. And let's start with the first one. And the index is the sentence you want to start from. So 0 will be the first sentence and so on. In this case, there's 10 sentences. This makes more sense in longer stories that might have, say, over 100 or so sentences. And you may have done 20 and you want to start at the 20th for to continue the story. So that's why this makes more sense with longer stories. So click on launch. And here you go. Basically, can you read this sentence? Can you understand the audio? And can you pronounce it right? So to listen to the audio, you click on this button here.
Волк, встретившись с ягненком, отбившимся от...
This is to stop it. This will be for you to speak into it. Volk. And now you got this hangman type game, right? So you click on Volk.
Волк.
It means wolf. And there's only one translation here. Get more additional information. So you get like a definition, the base word, variations to the word. Like this, for example, means wolf-like, and so on. And gives you a lot of like cultural or maybe a language uses of the word. For example, rook,
Волк.
right here, does the same thing. And in this case, for example, might give you the example like it might mean, in Russian, the word ruk is used to refer to the physical hands as well as the concept of helping hand or assistance, right? So it gives you the different context of how the word can be used in different phrases, etc. Right? So not every time you click on the button, you're going to see all this additional information. Which I believe is very useful to understand the word in the context. You don't have to read it every single time, but probably read it once or twice to get the gist of it.
Ягненком.
So when you get a word like this and there's no additional information, click on this button. It takes about 5-10 seconds. And once you click it, you don't have to click it again, and it's applied for the other users. So if you click it and another user is learning Russia, clicks on the lamb button, this would show up and they're screaming immediately the same way it showed up for Rook and Volk, right? So now you got all this information, the definition, the base word, word variations, additional information, and it goes ahead in Russian, nouns have a grammatical gender, so it explains the different gender types, etc. This gives you a bunch of different examples of what we would use. This case is only one. But yeah, that's basically the basic gist. Go through the process and you click on these are syllables.
Як. Нен. Ком.
So if you're having problems pronouncing a longer word, which in Russian I do have quite often, these syllables are very, very useful. Obviously, you got the Latinized version here, which appears on languages that do not have a Latin language. If you want a translation for the whole sentence, you click on this here, and this will be an example of the entire sentence. And yeah, that's basically the gist. You get the sentence, the words are here to help you, and eventually they're the tool for you to understand the whole sentence. And you just go through the process, and you want to repeat the same data set several times. This is exactly how I learn English. And this is basically me transferring the process I've developed myself for learning English, my native language being Spanish, and applying it to an app, which I'm now using for learning Russian myself. So essentially what I used to do years back is that I would read a book and it had a highlighter that was blue, which I would highlight words I didn't understand at first, right? So a lot of times it would be several words, and I would have a pocket electronic dictionary. I would search the word, I would get the definition, and I would try to read, say, for example, a page or a chapter of a book, and I would try to get, I would try to read it once, and obviously need a lot of help with a lot of the words. And then I would try to reread the whole chapter again. And can I read it without the help of the words? Well, I might have forgotten a few words, so I had to search it again on the pocket dictionary. So once I was able to read the chapter by myself, I would get the audiobook version. So I had a person narrating it, and I would read the book or chapter with the audiobook playing at the same time. And after I did that a few times, I would try to pronounce it on the microphone while we record my voice and play it back. And if I like how it sounds, I would assume, yeah, I could pronounce it. So essentially that's how I learning through that process of rinse and repeat and through reading, listening, and speaking. This is essentially the app I made that combines all those features into one app, which I prefer myself. I mean, I'm sure other people will like other styles that look more like a game maybe, but this is what I found more useful. I just did not like the language learning options, and this is what I created for myself. And I had a few people use it. They like it. Some do not. So I think it's more like a style, like if you're working out, there are different workout programs that work for different people. And this is the one particular that worked for me.